Hello my friends and welcome back. Today I'm going to be using the October 2019 Spellbinders Sparkling Holidays card kit, and oh my gosh guys, I love this kit. All of my cards and projects came together so very quickly. So anyway, I'm just going to get started with card number 1, and I'm using the pattern paper, attaching it to the card base which comes in your kit. I've also attached some vellum, and where I taped it was right along the edges because you see those two purple strips off to the side. I'm going to line each edge of my vellum with the purple sparkly paper. That did not come in your kit, that's from my stash. I just happen to have quite a bit of sparkly paper, and yeah, just wanted to use more. Like, I need any more on these. There's so many sparkly elements in this thing with the silver and the glitter everywhere. It's absolutely gorgeous. So up at the top, because I want to put these ornaments kind of grouped down below, I've also added some silver string to each one of them. I wanted to do like a little grouping at the top just to kind of have a place for where the ornaments are hanging down, so that's why I have all this stuff up at the top. I'm using the dies in the kit along with the elements that came in the little ephemera pack. I'm going to add some flowers to this. This is all part of the die set that you got in your kit. Not using anything extra here. Now I'm just going to put a few more, the little stars that came. I used all of them, and then I also cut some more from some stars that are kind of similar sized in my stash because I used them on almost all of my cards. I love these little stars. So now I'm just going to add some more berries to the other side just to even it out because I've got the little silver berries on only the one side. So I had to cut another section. And that will complete card number 1. I think these came out so cute. And I'm going to tell you right now, right off the bat, I'm sorry about the lighting. Still having issues with electricity, so basically I have to run in a power strip to my craft room, and I only have light right over where I'm working, and it's not the best. So everything is a little bit dark, including my photographs. I'm trying to get it fixed, but it is taking me quite a bit of time to do that. Apparently everybody has electric issues right now, and the weather is like 20 degrees here, so it is not pleasant right now for fall. I hate to be a little kid out trick-or-treating this Halloween. Anyway, so just layering up my second card, and I've got the little embossing folder. It's a Spellbinders one off on the side, which I used for the bottom panel. Used a silver rectangle die, and then just cut some of that white and silver wood planked paper. Now I'm just going to start layering up my scene, and I wanted to use the trees and the deer. So I'm just going to figure out exactly where they're going to go. I'm only going to pop up the one in the center. I'm also going to pop up my deer and the word cheer with some little foam squares. Going to play around with my placement. I've got a square on the top there. I'm also popping up my deer. At least I think I popped up my deer. Yeah, I did. And now I'm just going to add a snowflake and a couple more of these stars. I told you I used a lot of stars. I grabbed one of the sentiment strips from the sticker pack, and that's going to complete card number 2. Here's a close-up of this one. I tried to brighten up the pictures a little bit so you can see better. So hopefully I did a decent enough job. Everything is so dark. It's just really dark in here. So for my third card, I wanted to use this little mouse in a mitten. I thought he was super cute. And so I'm using this particular background is from my stash. It's the Nina Desert Storm, because the craft that came in the kit was really dark to me. It was more like a brown. So I wanted a kind of lighter color in the background, so I pulled this piece from my stash. And now I'm just creating like a little area. So what I thought is I wanted my little mitten to hang from something, but I didn't really know what I wanted to make. So basically I just put like, I guess it would be like a rail, maybe a chair rail on a wall. I don't know what I was thinking. But I'm going to make a little cluster of foliage at the top. I'm also going to add the little flowers. I ended up cutting that one poinsettia in half and just kind of stuffing it around either side just to give it a little bit more. And then I popped up the one in the center. Popped up my little mouse in a mitten. And now I'm going to place down the Christmas, which is in your stash of dies, and then the Mary is one of the little ephemera pieces, add a couple gems because I forgot I had them, and this is going to complete card number 3. I think that little mouse is so cute. But my favorite mouse is actually the one that will be coming up later. There's one in the ephemera pack that I used both of them because I love them so much. Along with this, I also used both of the owls because I think the owls are absolutely gorgeous. I love them. So I used a piece of the purple from the paper that came in the kit, along with a strip of the pattern paper, again with the silver and white wood. And now I'm going to create a little branch, place some background around it. I'm going to pop up the owl. He's going to stand right in the middle. And then I'm also going to pop up the sentiment, the holiday wishes, which is, this one goes really fast because it's a really fast card. Like I said, actually most of these cards went really fast. I think the longest one was the one where I did the wreath, and that's just mostly time is just the die cutting. Add some more stars because I have to have stars, and now that the gems are, I remembered I had gems, I'm adding gems. And that's going to complete this card. Love that owl. She's so sparkly. It's just absolutely gorgeous. These cards in person, oh my gosh, you just love them. So for this one, this is the one that I made the wreath, and I wondered if I could create the wreath on a piece of acetate and then pull it off and then add it in one piece to my card. It didn't work, don't bother. All I did was rip off the bottom. It totally fell apart and I had to redo it anyway, so I just cut that whole part out because it was a complete failure, but there's the wreath, it's done. I cut out holiday cheer from several layers of cardstock. The top layer being white, the bottom layer being the silver, just so it has a little silver peeking out. Now I'm adding some of the flowers in different colors and the leaves. Then I am going to take this away to a box and white splatter it to pieces, and so that there's tons of snow all over it. And that will complete that card. Actually, it doesn't. I gotta add my gems and my deer in the center because I forgot I put a deer in there. And now it's done. I put the gems in the center of all the flowers. Another one that's super cute. For this card, I wanted layers, and there's the little mouse that I absolutely love. That little mouse, he's all dressed up like a soldier. I love him. He's absolutely adorable. So I'm just gonna layer up a whole bunch of pieces. Here's another embossing folder that I used, and that's got that like plaid kind of pattern on it. And I just used the white paper for that one. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just layering up lots and lots of layers with backs to each one of the pattern papers. I'm using the blue that came in the kit along with several of the pattern papers. Just kind of, I really didn't know what I was doing. I think I saw a sketch with a bunch of these different layers to it and decided to give it a try, but then I needed a bigger center than what was actually on the card sketch, so I just made my own. So this, see that white square, and then I'm using the silver square in front of it. And this, the paper that I cut the white square out of, actually made something that looked like a Polaroid frame. So that's off to the side, and I'm going to use that on another card. So this is where it came from, was that square die right there that I cut out when I cut out my square. Now I'm just going to start adding my greenery at the bottom. And I cut the greenery out of paper that has that silver in it, and then some more, and then that other piece is in the ephemera pack. Now I'm going to just place my mouse, my bright holiday wishes, in kind of different places where I'm going to pop everybody up, and then trim off the bottom of that star. Add some gems. Once those gems are out and you remember that they're there, it's really easy to add them to all the projects, and that's going to complete that card. And here's a close-up of that one. I love this one. So for this one, instead of making a card, I decided I wanted some tags out of these, the ephemera pack. You could do your whole kit, you could make just a ton of tags, and they are fabulous. So I'm using some tag dies from La La Land Crafts because the reason why I chose these ones is I love the toppers. So those little hole reinforcers, I cut each one of those out of that silver cardstock, the silver metal cardstock that came in the kit. And now I'm just going to start layering up all the little elements. I used some of the ephemera, I cut out more of the greenery, and two of them are going to have basically the same design, which is the one with the owl and the swan, and then the last one I'm going to use a ticket instead of greenery at the bottom. So I'm going to pop up the sentiment and also pop up my owl. And then I have some lawn fawn. This is white and silver baker's twine, and so I'm going to use that, which matches perfectly on each one of the tops of my tags. So for the second one, what I did was, for the first one I didn't want to see any of the edging, so I just used a plain white tag in the back and then cut it twice, and then again out of the wood. This time I wanted to see that purple peeking around, so I cut it out twice, but then I cut along the perforation of the pattern paper so that you could see the purple peeking out. So that's why you can see that way. I'm just popping everything up the same as I did before, adding my twine, and that is tag number 2. And for tag number 3, I did the same thing with the backing of the tag with the colored cardstock and then the pattern paper, trimming around, adding my silver hole reinforcer. I wanted to place some of that wood panel paper, popped up my trees, and I used the Polar Express at the bottom with the little December 25th. I'm going to add some stars to the top of my trees and my baker's twine to the top, and then I've got 3 tags in an ever-growing pile of tags for Christmas this year, and I think they're absolutely adorable. I could do a whole kit just with tags from this particular kit. That's how awesome this is. Close-ups of these 3, and then we will move on to the next card. So here's where that little Polaroid, it looked like a Polaroid to me when I cut that out, so that's what I'm using it for. And I stamped the word bright on there using that Nouveau, I think it's called Metro Gray, because it kind of matched that back colored panel that came in. That's a color, it's almost like a grayish green cardstock that came in the kit. This is the pattern paper, it's what I had left over from another card, and so that's why it's a little bit thin on either side, so I decided to just put it straight in the middle. Now I'm going to add a little scene behind my Polaroid. So I'm just going to kind of speed up through this, but I decided to kind of build it, and then after I built it and figured out where I wanted everything to go, I will pop up the frame. So this hill I wanted it flat, and then the frame to be popped up, so that's why I did it that way. And now I'm going to add my foam tape, and there it is. Now I cut out Mary from that metal paper, the silver paper. I'm going to attach that. And then the and comes in the ephemera pack, and that's why I stamped bright where I did. And now I'm just going to place my elements. I cut out a bunch of greenery from the purple, kind of matches that background. And I'm just going to kind of poke it around here and there, just sticking out of certain places. I cut it out of the purple cardstock and one of the papers that I had left over that has that same real pretty muted purple color. Just going to place a few of them around. I used up all my trees, so I couldn't put those in the background. And then I've got more stars. I'm going to place those down. And then I'm also going to use some gems at the bottom of the little Polaroid picture. At first I put the gems behind, I put 3 gems right next to the word bright, and then realized that it looked like I was saying ... so I moved them to the bottom corner. And there, so now they're in a better spot, so it doesn't look like I'm saying merry and bright ... And that's going to complete that card. On to the next one. So this one, I'm kind of speeding it up because all I'm doing is, I had a bunch of elements left over. These next 2 cards are basically the stuff that I have left over that I loved in this kit. I wasn't a big fan of the flowers that came in it, so I didn't really use them very much, but I loved the snowflakes. And so I wanted to create my own pattern paper out of the snowflakes and the flowers. So I'm going to take this scalloped stitched frame die, and that's another La La Land one, and I'm going to cut them out. Then I'm going to finish adding some more sparkles with the little silver berries that I cut out. This will be my panel that's going to go in the back, and then I will pop this one up. Actually, I didn't pop it up. I just put it straight down to the paper because I'm going to pop up the word joy. So I place that one down. I'm going to pop up the word joy. And I thought I wanted to use the 25, but I didn't find a place for that. I'm also going to pop up my deer, place a strip sentiment right there, and that will complete that card. Super fast, but very, very, very pretty. And for my last card, I wanted to use up the rest of the ornaments. So I cut a panel from white. I actually used my Bristol Smooth cardstock because I was going to use some of this milled lavender in the background just to give it a little bit of color because I didn't like the stark white behind it. And now I'm going to place down one of the pattern papers that's cut slightly smaller than the card base. I'll place down my inked panel. And then I'm going to just place I gotta take all those centers out, but I'm just going to place them where I think they look nice. And I just wanted all of that and then to pop up the word cheer right in the middle. And I think this was the one that I planned the least, but the one that I liked the most. I think it came out really cute. So I got this sparkly shimmer paint pen, and it's silver, and it's from Spellbinders. I got it off of their website. I ordered it a while back, and so I'm just drawing some lines in just above the ones that look like, this is because I didn't want them just hanging there doing nothing. So it's a real pretty silver sparkle pen, and if I can find it, because it was actually in their clearance section, I will link it below, but I feel like it's probably gone now, but it was a really good investment. I think it cost me like $2, and it was awesome. I'm going to add my stars and a few gems. I still have a bunch of the gems left over, which makes me very happy because they're very sparkly and beautiful. Love the gems this time. Added a little too much glue to that one, and then that's going to complete my last card. So now I'm just going to run through them all. So sorry again about the lighting, it's not great, but here's all 9 cards and 3 tags. And I want to let you guys know that I am currently working on the small and large die of the month. I will have a video up, probably not until Thursday or Friday. For those cards, I'm going to do 2 cards with each one of the small and the large die. Again, thanks so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I would really love to know which one of these cards is your favorite. And also, I would like to know if I make a ton of cards with all these kits, and I do not have that many people to send them out to. So if you would like to be on a mailing list to receive cards when I have extras, please get a hold of me. Get me your address, and hopefully if I've got extra cards left over, I would love to send them out to you guys because otherwise they kind of just sit around here and they're all sad and lonely. So again, thanks so much, and I will see you again in a couple days. Have a great day. Bye-bye.